Hi, boys and girls, and welcome to Mrs. Noakes's math lesson. Today, we are going to take a closer look at more story problems. Now, you guys have studied story problems and you're getting really good at them. You know how to look at key language to figure out, is it an addition problem or a subtraction problem I'm looking at? And you've also learned the steps to take in order to properly solve a story problem, because remember, they're important. Every day we solve story problems, right? When we go to the grocery store or at home when we're cooking with a recipe and we have to add things or subtract things. So life is a story problem. With that being said, today I want to talk a little bit more about what types of story problems there are. There are actually 4 story problem types, okay? If you can learn those 4 story problem types and tell the difference between them, you will become the most incredible story problem solver, okay? So we're going to break this lesson up into 2 days. Today, we're going to look at 2 of the 4 types, and then tomorrow we're going to look at the other 2 of the 4 types of story problems. So let's go to our first slide. And so the actual types, the 4 types are add to, put together, take from, take apart. Your learning target for today, I broke it up a little bit into smaller chunks, is that by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to tell the difference between an add to and put together, and you'll be able to identify those kinds of problems. Okay, so listen super closely. This is pretty easy. I think you're going to catch on to it quickly. So put together, add to are about adding, but they are slightly different. And let me show you what the difference is. So here, let's take a look at add to problems first. Okay, in an add to problem, you start with one group only. Okay, you only have one group of objects that you start with. In this case, imagine that we just have the pink cats. Okay, think away the blue cats. It's hard for me to make something disappear and then reappear on a slide. So pretend that the blue cats are not there yet. Okay, so in an add to, you start with one group. In this instance, we started with one group of 2 pink cats. Then another group of cats, the 3 blue ones, come along and make that first group bigger by adding themselves to it. So you had a group of 2 pink cats. That was all. Then you had 3 more come along and they joined them and they made the group larger by adding themselves to it. And so now instead of 2 cats, we have 5 cats. So add to is starting with one group, more join, make that first group bigger. Okay. Now, here's the difference between it and a put together problem. In a put together problem, you start with 2 groups that are already there, and you put those 2 groups together to make one group. So you have 2 cats in one group, 4 cats in another group. You put them together, you have a total of 6 cats. Let's go back to the add to, oopsie, one too many. Let's go back to the add to problem. And here's how I would describe this. So say, for instance, Mrs. Bloom and I both have cats. I'm hanging out at my house with my 2 pink cats. She comes, so that's all I have. I just have one group of cats. She comes over and brings her 3 blue cats. Okay, that's adding to it. Now we have 5 cats. Whereas in this problem, it would be like this. We are both at the same house, and I have 2 cats. She has 4 cats. We're going to put them together. How many do we have now? Okay, so that is the difference between that and it. So let's go on and let me show you another example just so that you can kind of get it into your head. Okay, so for an add to problem, again, let's just say that I have 3 apples. 1, 2, 3. And my son comes home and he gives me 2 more. Did you see? We started with a group of 3 and then 2 more came out of nowhere and were added. So 3 plus 2, let's count down 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now put together would be, okay, I have 3 red apples and I also have 3 green apples. How many apples do I have all together? Let's put them together. 3 plus 3 equals 6. Okay, so here I already had 2 groups. Here I got more. Okay, all right, so let's take a look really quickly. That's not what I want. Here's another, here would be an example of an add to story problem. Okay, there were 3 frogs on a log. Then 2 more frogs hopped onto the log. How many frogs are on the log now? So again, do you see there was only one group, right? We had one group, and then another group hopped along. So I'll make them green just to be frogs. 2 more came along, 1, 2, right, out of nowhere. So we had 3 plus 2 equals 5. There was a new group that was added to this already, where again, in this particular put together problem, Lauren has 3 crackers and Julia has 2 crackers. How many crackers do the girls have together? So they were already sitting around together with their crackers in hand. They want to combine the 2 groups to see how many they have together, right? 2 existing groups. Here's one, here's another. So we have 3 plus 2 equals 5, okay? Nothing new came along. They already had those. There were already 2 existing groups. Okay, so what you're going to do today is this. You're going to go to your Seesaw template. Here's what it looks like. And you will go ahead and use the hand down here to move these 2 things around. And here's what you're going to do. This says put together problem. This says add to problem. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to read and see which one is the put together problem, and then move this guy either here or here for the put together problem, and then move this guy here or here for the add to problem. Okay, that is part 1 of your assignment. The other part is I want you to write your own either put together problem or add to problem. It's up to you. You can either do a put together or you can do an add to problem. Have mom and dad help you write it. If you want to write it yourself, you can do that. But I would like it to be read on video, or just you can tape yourself reading it to me and let me know what kind of problem it was. Okay? Awesome. I know you guys are great detectives. You can do this. Good luck. We'll see you tomorrow for the other 2 problems.